Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Scroll Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm a man of the high seas and adventure.
And I am Christian Sorrell. People might know me online as 𝐋𝐈𝐋𝐋𝐍. I make RPG stuff.
And I am Matthew Morris, also known as ManaDawn Tabletop Games, formerly known as ManaRamp Matt, way back in the day. But I make Mouse Ritter stuff, make Lilliputian, and love to play games.
I still call you ManaRamp Matt in my head. So
that's what my Twitter is. So it's
the old social media, connections won't die in my brain either.
Exactly.
My brain has been kind of kicking over to ManaDawn a little bit, just because it's easier. But this helps. This little action here. This helps.
That's so beautiful.
You guys both got dope boxes. Anyway, hey everyone, we're this is the Weekly Scroll Podcast. Today we're doing kind of a side quest, or like a before quest, or like an app, like however this works. We generally, for side quests, we've reviewed the game already and then we play it. This time we are playing a game we haven't reviewed because we felt like it, and this is a great game. And we have a good crew here today, so I'm very excited for. We're gonna be doing Lilliputian Adventure on the Open Seas. So much like the side quest, that we normally do, we are going to chat about character creation, kind of go over the rules with you guys. So if you do happen to buy this, which you should, you will know how to play it, kind of, since our game master Matt is the one who literally created the game. So Matt, why don't you kick it off? Why don't you tell us what this is, and we'll get cracking.
Yes. Lilliputian Adventure on the Open Seas. I created the idea, I didn't create it. Gulliver's Travels created the idea. So I wrote the game. Actually, I think Chris McDowell, 𝐋𝐈𝐋𝐋𝐍, Isaac Williams, they all inspired me to write this game. But yeah, it's a hack of Mouse Ritter, it's a hack of Cairn, and it's a hack of Into the Odd, all smashed in together. And you play as little 6-inch explorers, sailing the giant oceans around them. Whether your pirate ship is made out of a 2-liter bottle or a milk carton, or just a small piece of wood floating amidst the sea, that's what you get. And hopefully you don't die, and hopefully you make a name for yourself as you go. And so, it's fun. It's fully compatible with Mouse Ritter, because why not be a 6-inch tall Lilliputian meeting a mouse? It's compatible with Cairn, because you can just say 6 inches equals 6 feet, and now you've got a normal sized human to sail the seas with Cairn. So yeah, it's a fun little game, and I'm excited to take you all on a new adventure that I just wrote.
We're stoked to go on it.
I did. Oh, wait. Nope, I didn't put that in the screen. It was on the screen before this, the cover of the adventure.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna dive into character creation. So for those familiar with Into the Odd, Mouse Ritter, Cairn, any of the Mark of the Odd games, character creation is super fast. Lilliputian is the exact same. When it comes to that speed, you'll be rolling strength, dexterity, and willpower. You'll start with some hit protection. You'll start with some coins. Those hit protection points and coins will combine to give you a background. And then using the Into the Odd idea, there's a starter package loadout. And so you'll compare your stats with your HP to see what items you start with. And then we hit the sales. And I think y'all came up with names before the stream. And so, yeah, why don't you introduce your names, and then we can roll. We don't have to roll all the character traits. There is 10 different character traits. You're more than welcome to do that. Or you can pick a couple that you like and just rock with those as well.
Cool.
But yeah, so for the attributes, it is 2d6 plus 3 for each, as opposed to 3d6. Which I think the first place I saw that was Diogo Nogueira's Screams Amongst the Stars, which was Dio goes into the odd hack.
There's like a series of those three too that are basically the same hack, just reskinned, right? There's Screams Amongst the Stars, there's a zombie one, and then there's
Running Out of Time is the cyberpunk one.
Yep. Yeah, The Dead Are Coming is the zombie one.
Yeah, great name.
It is a really good name.
And rumor has it there's little adventures coming for each of those as well.
Ooh.
There could be 2 adventures from 2 of the 4 people on this maybe coming for some of those games in the future, I would actually say.
Oh yeah.
I think I can say that.
Yeah.
You're man.
But yeah, so if you guys want to roll your abilities and then your HP, and you can roll your birth omen, which is just kind of role play direction for how your character acts. And then what you will do is take your HP and your highest stat, and then there's a little background table on the next page in the book, and you'll compare to see what items you begin with.
I love starting packages. Like, I really enjoyed that about ITO. I'm glad you brought that into this, because I think it's a great way to balance, especially if you roll someone who's like, wow, I suck. Like, I suck terribly, you know?
Yeah. And I remember when I first started playing role-playing games, I was like, I want the highest stats to get the best items.
Mm-hmm.
But to see the philosophy between, like, you can be the tank, but your items actually aren't super great to start, because your body is what's great. I thought that was such a cool concept. And so I tried to bring that over into this table.
Yeah, it's a nice way to ensure that, like, you at least feel excited and rewarded at some point in the character creation. Either you're like, wow, my strength is wild, or you're like, what? I get like a shotgun and hatchets and a peg leg, and I get a pet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild. Yeah. So it's fun to at least guarantee sort of that someone's going to have at one moment like that.
Yeah, and then for the backgrounds, you're going to roll a D6 for your HP and a D6 for your coin, and then just read those as though it's a D66, and you can do that on your background table as well.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay, let's see.
Poor soldier.
All right. I got.
Yeah, and for those listeners who get the book or get the PDF, you'll notice there's artwork throughout to also spark your imagination. The team that came together to make this book really come to life, some of the best artists in the scene, I was able to partner up with. So I think even in this character creation, there's a great little goofy looking pirate done by Nate Treme.
Is that on page 11?
Yeah.
I would say it totally looks like their work.
Yeah. Yeah. I contacted Nate and was like, hey, can we do this? And then Nate ended up doing it on a stream. And I was like, that is so freaking cool.
Oh, great mistakes have been made. I've been given explosives.
Nice.
Just never any game we've ever played has never been a good idea for me to be given explosives.
Yeah, I have fire oil as well, which I was like, seems potentially problematic to have on a ship, but okay.
I love it. Yeah, and then as soon as you have your characters, we can probably roll into introductions, and then if we wanted to go over the core rules in typical Into the Odd fashion, they fit on one sheet, and we can go over those, and then we can jump into some adventure.
Sure. Yeah, I'm good character. I rolled mine beforehand
As
to
I
break the illusion.
I just need to pick my starter package and then I'm good.
Solid.
All right, so exploration. You cross-reference your highest ability score with your HP. Okay, highest ability score is 11. My HP is 6. So 11. 6. Oh, damn. All right, I'll take that. I wish I could read my own writing. Okay, I think I'm good. Do we all want to run through our characters and names if everyone else is good, and then we'll crack a lack?
Yeah.
Is that what someone said when I wasn't listening at all?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Ryan, why don't you start?
Oh, okay. All right. My name is Oliver Roberts. I'm just gonna go through the whole thing. What are my stats here? Strength, Dex, and Will. I got 10, 7, 11. Do I assign those in any way or top to bottom that?
Top to bottom. I think.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, I think you can swap 2 of them around. I wrote this. I should know. Yeah.
All right, 10, 7, 11. So I am strong, not very fast, but I am confident. I got 6 HP. Coins don't matter. I was born in the summer, so I am hot-headed, bold, and adventurous. I was a farmhand that has been exiled. That was my. I assume that's from my Vice, I think. Otherwise, I am dashing, tattooed with wavy hair, sunken face. I'm loud, with standard issue clothing, and I'm reliable, angry, hardworking. And I carry a sword, a shovel, and a fishing pole.
Love it.
Full pack.
There's
Very
Oliver
cool.
Roberts. Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
All right.
I'll go. Dude, would it be so funny if I did a really terrible pirate accent? I'm John Falcon.
I mean, this is the game for it.
Do it. Do it.
I can't maintain that. I'll lose it at some point. Yeah, I'm John Falcon. I was a soldier at one point in time, but I was exiled. And now I ride the seas with my wavy hair. I was born in the spring of discontent. And such I am quick to act and joyous. Yeah, that's John Falcon.
Love it.
And then I'll be playing Henry Evans, who is a former militia member but was court-martialed, and since then has garnered a repulsive reputation, probably tied to his drunkenness mixed with his sort of scraggly physique and his very cryptic way of talking and his absolute refusal to buy new clothes despite all of his various wounds from being scarred all over. The brown sort of like rust-colored marks of all these blood splatters are all still over his tunic. Like his own wounds still show on his own clothes, but he's got more heart to him than you'd think. And yeah, he has 13 or 11 strength, 13 dex, and 13 willpower.
Oh shit!
So
Wow,
he had good stats. Oh, and he has a bow.
Nice.
So he's a former, archer.
Yeah, very good. I love
Nice.
it. I love it. Well, today we're going to be setting the high seas, sailing away to the isle at the edge of the horizon. But before we do that, let's just go over the rules real quick. Should be pretty much a review for everyone. It's a D20 roll under system. We'll ask for saves only when things are really bad. So if we're not asking for dice rolls, it means you're doing well. This game does have advantage and disadvantage. If that be the case, you'll roll 2D20, take the higher or lower depending. You'll be able to take actions in your turn, 1 action per turn, and potentially some movement. If and when we arrive in combat, this is one area where Lilliputian deviated from the Into the Odd family of games. And originally, as written, it has a 2-hit roll where you roll 2d6, and then depending on where the dice fall on that bell curve, you either miss, you either deal maximum damage, or you deal damage with advantage or disadvantage, or it's just normal. It's skewed in such a way that you get a normal hit like 91% of the time. So it's still kind of into the odd E, but I threw that rule out after about a month of playing it once it was published because I just like skipping to hit rolls. So we will skip to hit rolls to streamline the game today.
That's like one of my, when I read that, that's like one of my favorite things. I was like, this is great. There's a whole plethora of options. I was like,
You know
this is
what?
into the odd in the way that I like. And then fine.
Well, and for that reason, we'll just bring it right back because we're playing rules as written today. Cut that. Boom, 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 boom. We're back. Yeah, we're rolling 2d6 to hit. It's a deviation from standard into the odd. Yeah, so other than that, if y'all are ready, if you have any questions, shoot them out. You can get scars just like you would in Into the Odd or Cairn. You can also get stress damage and stress things that occur. So if you face some pretty horrific things on the seas, you can take damage that results in some willpower hit that then will affect your character in the long run, and you can recover those will points by holding on to your cherished possession, which you don't roll for cherished possession. You can choose what that is, but it's a little thing that I added to the game from Diogo Nogueira's Screams Amongst the Stars. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away.
Why does hit protection use HP like health points? No, I'm just kidding.
Because no one called it guard yet. Shout out Mythic Bastion Land.
Guard is a good one, though. I
It
read
makes
that
so much sense.
oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, Henry Evans, what did you roll for an omen of birth?
I did. Spring.
Gotcha. Okay, just curious.
A
Nice.
spring, 2 springs and a summer, right?
Yeah.
They're a spring, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, she's more of a winter, you know.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. What was it when we played Mouse Ritter a couple months
I
ago
think
on
we were
here?
All
You were all
summers.
Yeah,
weren't we?
and like
Didn't we
brave and
all?
reckless, brave and reckless, brave and reckless. Yeah,
Yep.
Good
Fucking
times.
Jump in the water, fight the eel thing, whatever. Just fucking do it. All
well,
right.
you might have a chance to jump in water and fight the eel today as well. So
Can I stab
I
on
love
the
it.
back again?
we'll let the fates decide. Y'all ready to jump in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. So y'all set sail from the port of Salt Haven 4 weeks ago en route to the Southern Sea by way of the Vortex Isles through the seas of Myrrh, and then you see it. Far off in the west, where the sun meets the sea, sits the lonely island known to the Lilliputian sailors as Horizon's Edge. It is a small island, and it appears to not have any rocky outcroppings surrounding the shores around it. It seems to be quite tranquil and easy places to lay a ship ashore. So I'll just start it off. Let's roll a D8 to see what side of the island you want to come in from, or you can go around the island and see if there's a port specifically that you would like to land on. I'll let y'all decide. You can either roll and we can enter the island randomly, or circumnavigate and see what you got.
Oh man. Well,
You said
I want to answer. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, how long were we at sea? You said weeks.
Yeah, you've been at sea for 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think Henry, and I probably am going to do some sort of weird little guy voice for him because I like playing weird little guys. But yeah, I think as soon as we see land, he would just be like, "Get the boat up there, get it up, go, let's go." He doesn't want to circle. He wants to just get to land.
Well,
Awesome.
wait, hold on now. Let's take a look at our surroundings.
Yeah. what you see around you is blue skies. You can see seagulls and hear them cawing. Now, to you, a seagull is almost a dragon. But you see them flying about, and it's a beautiful sunny day. Did someone roll a D8?
I did.
Yeah, what'd you roll?
A 4.
4. So that would be boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so you guys are actually coming up from the south, which works out perfectly because on the south, you can see just beyond the fog bank what looks to be a Lilliputian port. And as you pull out your navigation charts, you see written on the map that this is the Lilliputian port of Lilliport. Clever enough, they named it after themselves. And there are 5 docks that come out in this small inlet bay, and it is seemingly easy to navigate to those docks.
And there's an open space in all the docks?
There is one kind of galley that's stationed at one of the docks, and there are a couple fishing boats out in the bay. But other than that, there are no large boats. And that's actually one thing I totally forgot to have us do. As Lilliputians, you start with a boat. So let's see what y'all started with. Who wants to roll a D6?
It's just a shoe, you know.
Right.
Here's the D6. A 4.
4. You guys also have a galley. It does have a crew size of 25 like deckhands. You have 2 cannons. And yeah, the ship itself is worth 5,000 coins, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's one of the things with a Lilliputian. You're able to start with ships because there is potential ship combat, whether it's ship to ship or ship to sea monster. And that may still be a thing that happens today. But yeah, so you guys are able to dock if you would like.
So a galley for a Lilliputian, like what is it? What does it look like?
Well, you can either in the back of the book, there's some drawings of some ships.
Ooh, okay.
Or you could define it however you'd like. I think in the back of the book, a galley kind of looks like a Egyptian or Greek trireme right there. So you could either just have like a model boat, or y'all tell me what your boat's made out of.
I think it's like a series of popsicle sticks, and really good glue with like a
kid's school project model of a galley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
The mass has
like
a napkin.
Second grade, you need to make a galley for like social studies, and it's that.
Yes,
they got thrown out and then washed into Lilliputian territory, and we salvaged it.
Perfect. That's exactly what it is. I love that. Yeah. So you guys are. It's pretty smooth sailing into the port if that is the direction that you would like to go.
I think so.
What did we? I know we set out for this isle. Was there a specific reason we did, or did we come here just for like, this is supposed to be like a place with like a lot of opportunity and jobs and riches? Like, was it general, or did we have like a specific mission?
Yeah. So it's twofold. Your party we're just going out with the heart of a Lilliputian to explore new lands, to find new islands. You probably have a destination that's off the map, that you want to find new land, but you've been at sea for quite some time, so this might be a restocking opportunity. But what you do know is that on the maps you have, the interior of this island is very much uncharted, and so there may just be adventure to be had here on this island as well. So as you guys pull into the docks, you're greeted by deckhands that they're work on the docks, and as you disembark, you see a Lilliputian settlement, typical 18th century port city. There are 3 taverns. There is a town hall, the harbor master's office, and there are small apartments built kind of into the hillside. And it seems to be like quite the bustling city. You're seeing Lilliputians left and right, just kind of going about their everyday work. There's a small market. One of you is convinced you saw a frog wearing clothes walking around. Yeah. So what would y'all like to do?
I swear, guys, it was a frog with a top hat and a jacket, in pants.
I believe it. I mean, this far south, anything's possible, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Move out of the way. I like shove you out of the way to like get off. I just want to get off the dock. I want to get to some actual
Be
land.
careful. Yeah, I think. I mean, we're on an adventure to find adventure, right?
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go talk to the. I want to go talk to the harbor master. I don't know about you guys.
Awesome. Well, it's not hard for you to find him as he comes strolling boisterously down the docks, and he says, "Welcome to Lilliport. I haven't seen fresh adventurers in a long time. My name is Ryan Hunter's friend, and I am here as harbor master of this town, and I wish to welcome you and would offer you well." We've got taverns left and right. There's great beer, and your first one's on the house.
Well, thank you for the welcome.
Quite welcoming.
Yep.
I elbow Oliver. I'm like, thank him for the fucking beer.
Thank you, sir.
He said he goes on to tell you we have 3 taverns. One known as the Manduck, one known as the Castle of Meat, and the other is the Side Quest. And all of them have good beer. The Manduck has the best porter. And rumor has it that's the place where the adventurers go.
Mm.
The Manduck.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, it's nicely positioned between 2 cairns.
Well, thank you, because we're obviously very serious adventurers on a quest to find adventure. Our dream is to have a dream.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. You could find adventure there, or I could offer you adventure. I'm looking for someone to dive deep into the island. We have a nuisance. Some time ago, a group of bats, they formed a cult, and I'm pretty sure they're kidnapping folk. Some of our farms out in the island have, the farmers are no longer there, and they're not here. And the frogs seem to think the bats have been kidnapping their kind as well. So I'd be willing to pay you as a party 4,000 coins if you could hunt down and eliminate this bat cult.
Did you say frogs?
Yeah. Oh, yes. We have a peace treaty with the clan of frogs that live just northwest of here, down in Lotus Lake swamps.
I look at the 2 of them. I'm like,
I told you this far south, that's life here, I guess. I mean, anything on land sounds good to me. I'm sick of the ocean, and I throw a rock back into the water as if I'm attacking the sea.
Roll D4 for damage. No, I'm joking.
Roll to hit the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love
Vast,
some,
giant ocean. I'd love to see.
I'd love to go for a little hike around, see this place.
Cool.
It's beautiful. Much better than the inside of the cabin in there.
Fantastic. I'm also in agreement. Ollie?
I know a thing or two about farms, and we can't be letting no bats steal no farm hand people, right? I mean, I'm not a big fan of frogs, but we can help them too, I guess.
Well, the only real information that I can give you, we tend to stay to the shore. and haven't really ventured much further than the frogs' encampment. So I couldn't tell you necessarily where the bats reside, but they are seen coming and going at dusk and dawn from the mountainous region to the center of the isle. But the frogs may have a better bearing on that.
Oh, we should go talk to the frogs.
Of course. I'm just excited to see what a bat cult looks like.
Yes, they are cloaked and they're scary. So have fun with that. You are more than welcome to stay here for the evening. If you don't want to take me up on the beer, you can have a room on the house, and if you want to head out tomorrow, you can, or you could head out now. The frogs are about one watch away. A watch would be 6 hours, and we'll say, I don't know, let's roll a d12 to see what time of day it is. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Oh, stay
Hey.
all right.
Yeah,
I think, I mean, honestly, I think we hit up those free beers for the road, and then we get to it. I'm ready to go. Stretch these legs, stretch these bad boys. And I start like stretching my legs, and I'm like very top heavy, plump, and very skinny legs. Like strange. Like it looks like you went weird with a character creator, like in a game.
Nice.
Like really little legs, scrawny, but very like plump round.
The tiniest little ankles.
Yeah. So he starts doing like a little like stretch, like he's like doing lunges to like stretch out a little.
Uh-huh.
But we gotta get that beer. I need that beer.
Road beers, let's do it.
Very
Morning
good.
beer, a light morning ale.
So as you guys go to, well, what tavern do you go to? The side quest, the Castle of Meat, or the Manduck?
I mean,
We
Castle
hit
of
all
Meat
three,
sounds a little
couldn't we?
heavy. Or do we get if we get a free beer to everyone? That's what we should do.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
make
okay
it
with
go
that.
around. Quick little crawl,
All
pub
right.
run.
All right.
Woo!
On your pub crawl, you do come across a couple more rumors. You hear one like crotchety old sailor. He's missing an eye. He's missing both his hands. One has a hook, and the other one has like a stein. That's just so he's always throwing it back, and he's got a peg leg, and he just like with lots of gusto. Anytime you see someone new, he's like, "Oh, you must be here for the priceless pearl." Yep, it's somewhere up in Capybara Cove. At the next bar that you find yourself at, you hear of this priceless pearl yet again. It seems to be the talk of the pub whenever there's a new adventure in town. But at this pub, you also hear from the barkeep that the famed explorer Bradford Carrington is said to have been lost whilst going after the priceless pearl. And the last thing you learn is that somewhere in the northern jungles, it is said there is a turtle the size of a dragon. So beware.
As opposed to a regular turtle size for a person who's 6 inches tall.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say,
yeah.
is that like 6-inch person dragon or like real person dragon?
Yeah, fair enough. Real person Galapagos tortoise. So
damn.
for a 6-inch,
Massive for us.
yeah. You could probably put a small Lilliputian city on the back of this thing.
Fighting adamantoise, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep our eye out for that if we go north, I guess. Maybe we can find this Bradford guy. He seems cool.
Yeah, maybe we can find him after we find the pearl ourselves.
Well, yeah, we're not going to give him the pearl. I just mean, you know, a lot of positions on the galley. Maybe he wants to join us.
That's very
After
true.
we, of course, come back with the bat cult defeated and the pearls, and we're riding on the large turtle that we didn't slay, but that we tamed.
They're very ethically
This is how I'm
different, those
envisioning it.
things. So
Yeah.
I'm a visionary.
I love it. So all the points of interest on this island, just jump back out of the narrative and more to the meta. There are 7 different locations on this island, and each location is roughly a watch apart. And so traveling between, it's more an abstracted point crawl, but there will be an encounter roll between each point. And so as you decide to head out towards the frogs, someone roll a d6. On a 1, you will have an encounter. On a 2, an omen, and on a 3 through 6, you are in the clear.
I rolled a 6.
Let's go. Nothing occurs other than you see the beauty of this island, lush jungles, unlike what you have seen in Salt Haven or any of the other Lilliputian regions that you've been in. Dragonflies flying around, the ever annoying yet beautiful hum and chirp of crickets. You see songbirds up in the treetops, but they never seem to come below the canopy. And after about 6 hours of travel, you find yourself entering a very muddy and dense bog, a very heavy swamp. The trees have moved from lush jungle trees to droopy mangroves, the roots sticking out of the water. And every once in a while you hear a croak. And as you look, you see that in the branches of these trees, about 2 or 3 feet above the water, there are frogs, fully clad in armor, wielding bows and arrows. And as they begin to croak with fervor, one drops down out of the tree and says, "Well met, my Lilliputian friends. Well met."
Well met indeed.
Howdy.
What brings you to Lotus Lake?
We heard you had a bat problem and that you knew more about it than that bozo back at the harbor.
At that, 7 more frogs drop out of the trees.
I'm like gun out. I'm like looking around, you know.
One steps from amidst all of them, not wielding a bow and arrows, but holding a spear that has some sort of banner draped over it. He says, "No need for the weapons. Come with me to Mudlord Leo. He knows what to do."
Mm.
And as
All right.
so you find yourself walking through the mud. Now in some places the mud comes almost up to your knees. The frogs seem to just be moving through it with great ease. It is difficult for you, but the frogs are acquiescent to your inability to traverse mud. And you find yourself pushing through some of the ferns until it opens up into a clearing. And there is quite the frog village, roughly 54 frogs hopping about, doing their thing. And there's a large hut made out of like a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket that's been flipped upside down, hole cut into it. And stepping out of it is a very large toad. And with a deep croak, he says, "Welcome to our humble village, explorers. My name is Leo, and I am the Mudlord of these frogs. What brings you here?"
Bats.
The bats.
We heard your brethren were being stolen by the bats.
We're gonna try to kill some bats.
With that, he like kind of stumbles back. He's got a small twig of a cane, and he like almost falls on it. He goes, "You're here to get rid of the bats. Oh, this is the greatest news I've heard all season. These bats have been plaguing us for the last 7 seasons. And, well, we would be happy to be rid of them. And You are probably here to find the direction in which they came.
Yeah, we heard something about the mountains, but
That's
whatever
that
you
is
know.
that is correct. They are in the mountains, the volcanoes in the center of the isle. But
Cool. Do
yes.
they have any is there any information you could give us about them that would help us kill them more swiftly?
Well, I think they sleep at day. I'm unaware. Our frogs don't tend to go to the mountains, but rumor has it there was one frog who seemed to be quite adventurous. I don't know if he's actually in town right now. Would one of you roll a d6? There's a 2 in 6 chance he is in town.
Someone else do. I hate my dice roller.
2.
2. All right. He is in town, and he is a fully clad knight. He has a lance, a sword, and he's willing to go with you if you would like him to. He will join the party. His name is Sir Arthur.
I would love for the frog to come on this adventure with us.
Very dope. He's got 5 HP. And I think the only thing that we'll really need to track is his strength. His strength is 7. And he has a D8 lance. But this frog, Sir Arthur, says that he had been exploring the mountains while he was actually out on a pilgrimage to the dragon turtle. And you're able to glean and gather from this that the frogs revere and worship the dragon turtle, and would very much like for the dragon turtle to remain on the island as the keeper of peace. But he says he saw them entering from a cave on the volcano in the center of the island, and he believes that is where the bats reside.
Well, then it sounds like we're going further inland.
Very
Did I hear
nice.
something about
Fantastic.
farmers at some point? Were they frog farmers, or was it something else?
So the frog knight speaks up. Sir Arthur says, "Oh yes, you must be referring to the Lilliputian lands that are due east of here. Yes, there are some farms, and I think 2 of the farmers went missing, and that's the way in which they went missing seems ever so similar to the way 11 of our brethren have gone missing over the last couple months." It would appear in the early hours of the morning before the sun rises, and in the early hours of the evening as the sun is setting. They just seem to be swooped from the ground, and their cries and screams can be heard as they fly off into the darkness. What these bats do with their prey, these victims, I do not know, but it must be unholy.
Hopefully, it doesn't seem good. I mean, it sounds like we at least know the area, so we just go over there and give them what's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
It took about 6 hours to get here. You guys left around. We'll say your pub crawl took about an hour. So what does that put it? Puts about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You could travel. You would arrive at the volcano by 10 o'clock at night.
Exactly when we want to see the bats when they wake up.
Well, I mean, we could get there and just scout it, and then take a rest, and then attack in the morning.
We could scout in the dark.
That's true.
I mean, it's I assume. I mean,
What's the phase of the moon?
yeah.
That's a wonderful question. Let's roll for it. It is waxing. Don't actually know what that means, but I know it's a thing.
It's getting bigger.
Not probably going to be very bright then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
So I say we
but
do
here-
another pub crawl.
No, but here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying is if we go
I don't want to go
in-
back to town through all that mud.
But here, no,
I
listen,
hate land. I miss the ship.
if we go try to scout during the day, they're all just going to be asleep. We won't know where they're going, where they're coming from, or nothing. But if we watch them at night, we'll see where they go in, look at the actual activity. You know what I mean? Like, what if there's like 1,000 caves? And during the daytime, we won't know which one's going where, but at night, we'll see them, and then we'll know where to go when daytime comes.
Yep. I'm sold.
Me too.
You can watch them go hither, and yon, and those kind of words.
Oh, that's great. So you guys make out with
we what?
Yeah, no. Let me rephrase that. You make your way out of the Frog Village with Sir Arthur, traveling to the northwest and towards the center of the island, where this volcano is. Let's get a encounter check real quick. Let's just get a D6.
I did the last one. Somebody else now.
2.
You have an omen, and your omen is, as you guys are traveling, you find footprints. They're not frog prints. They're not like turtle depressions. They look like boots, 6-inch little piratey boots, footprints in the mud, and Sir Arthur is very perplexed by this, as Lilliputians rarely, if ever, have gone this deep into the center of the island. And it seems to be one set of footprints doubling back on themselves. Yeah.
Does it seem recent?
It does seem recent. Like probably within the last hour.
When we heard about that, real legendary guy. So
famous explorer lost is what I wrote. That's his name.
The Pearl guy, right?
Yeah. He was looking for the Pearl. That's what they said. Yeah, Bradford. I just start yelling Bradford and like walking around in the jungle near this area.
As you're making this noise and shouting at the top of your lungs, you hear some commotion in the foliage as a Lilliputian kind of stumbles his way out. He's unarmed and has some tattered clothes, and all he has is like a walking stick, and he has a small lantern, and it is unlit, and it appears to not even have wax or candle in it.
Is he like older or younger?
He is quite young, probably somewhere on the verge is late teens or early adulthood.
Ho there, young man.
Hi.
Are you Bradford?
No. Well, that would be really cool. Yeah, he was my favorite when I was in school. My name is William. Did my mom send you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going like this the whole time.
I said yes.
We got white van vibes going on right now that I'm not for. No. So we do not know your mom.
We haven't talked to any moms yet.
Oh, okay,
yet.
good.
Sadly,
Good.
Didn't see any at the 9 a.m. pub crawl, but
he says that. So I'm trying to do this thing on my own now. I'm going to be a great explorer someday. I don't know that I'm cut out for it. I am lost. I am like very lost.
Oh.
Can I look at his boots and see if it's those boots? Like, is it those boots?
It is those boots. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You have stumbled across a lost Lilliputian.
I mean, the best way to learn is by doing. You want to come with us? We got a frog night and everything. And I like tap the metal armor of Sir Arthur.
Yeah, you want to see my gun too?
Yeah, creepy vibes are back. Let's do it, kid. Yeah.
He looks around and he says, "Well, I mean, I could go with you. I'm pretty good at carrying things. I've never really fought anything. But yes, what are we after the pearl? Are we gonna slay the dragon? What's our quarry?
Well, the frog people don't like the slaying the dragon talk. So I also don't know if frog people is derogatory. So table that for now. But we are going adventuring for a pearl, which you can't have any of, but you can come with.
He says, "Cool. Can my name, if you get the pearl, can my name just go down in the annals that I helped you find it?"
Sure. Jim?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah.
John? What was it?
William, yes,
Got
William.
it. Billy boy, let's do this. And I throw an arm around his shoulder. And were we looking for the pearl? I don't feel like that was our mission.
Billy boy.
Oh, that's
And,
right.
Billy boy. We are kind of looking for the pearl, but there's this other thing we got to handle first,
Yeah.
and it's a bat cult at the volcano.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going now. We're going to the bat vault. Come on.
Okay.
Yep,
You're
I pat him on the chest, and I still got my arm around his shoulder. And he's, "You like bats, Billy?"
He's like, "Sure, yeah, I love him." And he starts doing that, like, I gotta act cool with all these new friends kind of thing. And yeah, he's totally down to not die. So whatever that means.
Perfect.
Yeah. You guys are able to travel on. The sun starts going down. And off in the distance, you can see the peaks of these mountains kind of like popping out above the tree line. And there is what looks to be a small gray cloud. But as you look closer at it, it's moving. And you begin to be able to pick out probably 15, 16 like creatures flying. And then you realize as you get just a little bit closer, and as they get closer, there's roughly 27 bats flying around. They don't seem to notice you, and they fly over the top of you. There's little glow bugs and flies in the air, and they just seem to be hunting the bugs. And they pass over top of you.
As they were approaching, we had one of those, I had one of those Lord of the Rings like fellowship moments where I'm like, "Everyone get down!"
Love it. And yeah, so they flew over you, and they
Perfect.
seem to just be out hunting.
That was a close one.
Wait, did we decide we were gonna go there at night or?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you remember the whole speech? The whole like, we'll watch their movements while they're active and awake.
I think I zoned out for that, honestly.
I think he might have had
It
an
was
extra beer or two on that pub crawl.
It was a good speech. Convinced
You
me.
should have heard it, Billy. And I'm still like hanging on this kid, just like draping on him.
Billy, do you have any drink on you?
Well, now that you mention it, and he pulls out of like his back pocket, he's got like a very oversized flask, and he's like, "This is pretty strong. I don't necessarily know how to make a fire, so the last 3 nights this has kept me warm." And he passes it around, and it's very clear that this was from a small cask of a very strong single malt Scotch. That had washed ashore at some point, and some lucky Lilliputian had been able to siphon all of the sweet liquor from it.
Damn.
Billy.
That's
that's
top
just a-
shelf.
That's just a waste of this drink. Yeah, we got to keep that.
Yeah.
And we'll say, just for the fun of it, y'all get 1 extra HP, just like temporary HP from a swig of this really nice this Islay single malt.
Just like real life.
Exactly. It's gonna fade though. It's gonna fade.
Just like real life.
Just like that. Okay.
All right. See, you already got the first step adventuring down already, bud.
Be drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Liquid
put this
courage.
down in the annals for sure.
Nice. Yep. So is your plan to continue just trekking up to the volcano, trying to find the caves?
Yeah, I mostly just want to
I-
keep an eye of like see if we can find where they're coming into and out of.
For sure.
Like we were saying, like I'm sure there's probably a bunch of caves in. Like, is there one entrance?
Yeah. So as you guys begin the trek up the mountain, you do see multiple cave openings, all of which could be potentially where these bats are coming from. But there doesn't seem to be any sign of activity at these openings. And then after about an hour of searching, it becomes very clear as one of these outcroppings that has a cave on it is just covered in like this acrid like bat guano. The smell of ammonia is wafting in, and I'm going to need each of you to make a will save. And if you fail that will save, the putrid smell of this is going to be enough to cause some stress.
I failed that will save.
Very good.
Do you have to roll under, or if you roll the same thing, is it fail?
Yeah. At or under,
Okay.
and you're good.
Oh, at or under. Okay.
Yep.
Then succeed.
Succeed.
Fairly.
How about Oliver Roberts up there?
Ooh. I'm good. Yeah. I passed. I got a 2.
Okay. So John Falcon, as this is just a mildly upsetting event, you take 1 damage to your will.
My will.
And this will bypass your HP and just go straight to the will damage. So your will drops by 1, and as a result of your will dropping by 1, you're able to keep it together, and you will have advantage on your next save, as the stress was enough to knock you down, but your constitution, your gumption, you said, okay, I can do this. You pinch your nose, you climb a little bit further, you'll have advantage on your next save.
I'm a spring. I can do this, you know?
There you go. What about Bill and the Frog Boy? Did they save?
Oh, that's a great call. Frog Boy doesn't care about the scent as he utterly saves. Yeah, and Will rolled even better than the frog. So yeah, they're both good.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Good job.
you guys make your way to the cave opening. It is pitch black inside.
Oh, Sir Arthur, our esteemed friend. Do you know, do the bats, are they just kind of like, did they have like a normal town too? We heard there was a cult of the bat, which kind of means that there's like probably normal ones.
Yeah, like a not cult, like just regular bat people.
He goes on to say, he says, yeah, I think maybe there is. I will be honest with you, I haven't ever gone that far. But what I do know is that whether cults or just regular person, I'm not a fan of them.
Don't be racist, Billy.
I was gonna say, come on now.
It's one of those
Don't judge
things.
by a book by its cover, you know. I mean, you are a frog.
It's one of those things that I can't erase from my own cultural upbringing, but I would like to. So redirect me.
Yeah, I mean, we could deal with that in the long term, but it seems like maybe a predator prey situation that might be playing into this. Okay,
that definitely lends to it.
I'll just make sure that it's not I guess like a village before we go storming in is all I'm saying. Keep our peepers peeled.
Yeah. So do any of you have a light source?
I do. I have a lantern.
Yeah, I have explosives.
I have a fishing rod.
That's a light source.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is you guys are going to strap explosives to the end of the fishing rod with a lantern, cast it in, and just okay. No.
Well, we are now.
Okay. So
No, wait, no, time out. Now, before we go, now my thought, and y'all tell me if this is wrong, was to just scope it out at night and then go in during the day while they're sleeping. Are we actually going in this cave right now and doing this now in the dark while they're awake?
I mean, I'm kind of excited now that we're here and that whiskey was real good.
Oh,
But I'm not gonna go in alone.
I'll go in too.
Hey, listen, it was a thought, and apparently it was a wrong thought, so let's fucking do it.
So as Henry lights up his lantern and walks in,
Who's Henry? Oh, Henry Evans.
Yeah.
I was like, I forgot the frog's name for a second. I was like, is a frog have a lantern? No, Henry. Okay.
No, I have a lantern.
Yeah. So
Frog Sir Arthur.
yeah, Sir Arthur.
Arthur Billy. Gotcha.
So as you make your way in, it really opens up into quite the large cavern. And as you shine the light up around, you see that there are like individual like nesting complexes built into the side of the cavern walls. As you shine the light in here, it is silent. You don't hear chirping, you don't hear movement. The only thing you can hear is the breath of your fellow companions as you are all breathing. It is dark.
I think they're all Do we see any like robes or cloaks or like dark altars with black candles on them?
No, actually far from it. You see a small like market square where it appears as though there's like as you get a little bit closer, there's like some guava and some mango, maybe a banana and a jackfruit, and there's like market stalls, and it appears that the pieces you start to put together is that the bats that live here deal in fruit trading, and as you begin to look at all the alcoves, they just seem to be like small studio apartments. A little bed mat. No, they're bats. They don't have bed mats. A little like a pull-up bar that is ornately decorated so that they can hang from. And some toys.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything seemingly of Lilliputian use or make? Like, do we see any evidence that there are Lilliputians here?
No. You do see like some small toys and potentially like some action figures, and so that would be the closest thing to like a Lilliputian, like a small little like mini G.I. Joe kind of thing. But
wait. So did anyone actually see the bats take anyone, or did they all just think it was the bats taking people?
Sir Arthur speaks up. He says, "Well, they definitely went away in the night, and they definitely went off into the air, and I definitely don't like bats."
It seems like the people actually left. They were taken.
Half the day is night. That's a meaningless detail, you know? If they disappeared during the day, you wouldn't go, well, the Lilliputians are awake during the day, so they must have taken them.
Sir Arthur kind of like...
No, he's like, what?
Oh, he kind of backtracks at John Falcon saying those things. He says, well, let me be more specific. They disappeared at dusk and at dawn, and they went off in the air. I can only assume it was bats.
Is there any cool shit going on like right now? Does this literally just look like people living?
Yeah, it just looks like people living, right?
It's just people living. Yeah, you're kind of terrible, Sir Arthur.
He looks at you and he says, I'm not crazy. There is a cult. We've heard rumors of sacrifices, of frogs being mutilated. Science projects. I mean, there is a bat cult. I'm not crazy.
that could be for sure. It's just not here, it seems. But I don't know. Do we probably don't want to be in here when they come back? Do we want to wait and ask?
I kind of want to talk to the bats.
Like, hey, do you have a cult problem we could deal with?
Yeah.
We could get paid 3 ways on this. Get some guava from the bats, get some whatever the frogs use for money, and get some coins from the harbor master.
God, guava sounds so good though. Out of character. Guava sounds amazing.
For sure.
I don't know if I've ever had guava.
It's great.
It's good. It is good.
I think we sit back, we watch to see if there are any other groups other than that big one we saw, and we wait for them to come back, and then we go, hi, hello.
I think I'm into this idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it now kind of makes sense that
we surprise them.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense now that they flew over us and didn't attack us. And
no,
I
looked Arthur
right in the face, and I'm like, because they're not an evil cult or anything.
They were just eating bugs.
Literally,
we can all agree we hate bugs.
The frog looks at you and he says, I actually really like bugs. They're delicious.
I think they're delicious, so.
Okay, so you guys are going to stay. Are you going to stay just outside the cave, or are you planning to like post up in one of the...
No, let's just like lean against the side, smoke a Lilliputian cigarette, and just like kind of like conspicuously like, oh hey, do you have guava for sale? We have heard that, like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
just like outside of the entrance.
Yeah. Perfect. Are y'all gonna attempt to stay up all night, or are you going to attempt to take a rest at any point?
I think we could have one person keep watch and the other trade off shifts, you know?
Yeah, but cool, not
that guy. So as you guys rally and decide who you want to be your night watch, you fall asleep. We'll just roll to see if anything occurs. Nope, you're good. The night passes, and as the sun is barely peeking over the horizon to the east, whichever one of you is staying watch, or if you've rotated, whoever's awake at the dawn, sees this cloud kind of making its way back towards the cave, and they begin to like get within range as if they're going to fly in. And then, did you guys do anything to like make yourself inconspicuous, or are you just like posting up with a sign, we want guava?
I think inherently, like, John would want to sleep inconspicuously, not maybe specifically because of the bats, but just in general. Like, it is he's a soldier. It's a safer idea. So that's my vote.
Cool. So
yeah, Henry wouldn't think at all about it. So if someone else does, then yeah, but
cool. So the bats begin to fly in, and about half of them make their way in, and then one kind of catches out of the corner of its eye, or the corner of its ear, because it's using echolocation, hears one of you breathing and alerts the other bats, and like the whole formation kind of just like swarms and stops and lands. And what you see as the remainder of the group wakes up, is you see a colony of 26 bats, and they see you, and they are extremely timid, and one of them makes their way forward, and says, "You're not here to end us, are you?"
I don't think so.
Then what brings you to our mountainous home?
I think that we're looking for missing Lilliputians.
One of the bats, an older bat, their head kind of sinks as they make their way forward. This elderly bat speaks up and says, "Well, alas, I think what you're looking for is not here. But there are some of our brethren that have fallen. And alas, I believe they may be to blame. There was at one time, several seasons ago, a heretic from a far-off land arrived here on the islands and began to spread his heresy. And he led 16 of our brethren with him as they formed a cult. And alas, their reputation still plagues not only all of Batkind, but their stain has spread to the islands. I fear if you are looking for your Lilliputian friends alive, chances are you may not find that. But what I do know is that if you could repay that evil deed with good, if you were able to sway our family and friends away from this heretic and send them home, we would be much appreciative. But if you need to rid the island of this heresy, do it however you feel. It only brings a bad name on our humble and peaceful kind.
You know, my father used to say, it's hard to follow a heretic if he's dead. And I think that lesson's really coming home right now. You know?
Billy just laughs at that. He goes, "That's great. I love that idea. Where are they?"
Yeah, where we got to go from here to get to there?
So at this point, the elder kind of steps back in a younger, more like vibrant bat steps up and says, "Yeah, about that. They live in the rocks off the shore. There's a small set of rocky outcroppings. It's their false caves. They've built a temple in one of them. They live offshore. That's all I know."
Cool.
You know
which direction?
And he points due west. It's probably 2 hours to the shoreline, 3 hours across a small little span of open water, and then a 1 hour climb up to where the temple would be.
Is it like a sandbar kind of thing, or we're going to need the boat?
That's a good question. Roll a d6 for me. Let's see how the tides are.
One.
Yeah. So actually, you would be able to get almost all the way out as the tide is going to be low during this next watch. There would be one stretch where you would have to swim in open water, but at the low tide, it would not be too deep. There would just be the chance that if there's anything in the waters, you may encounter that.
Do we want the ship? We're gonna have to go back.
The ship.
If we want the ship. It's a good ship.
It is a good ship.
Got cannons on it. I'm saying this all to Billy Boy and to Sir Arthur. I'm like looking at them being like, it's got cannons. Like I'm trying to sell them on it for some reason.
They love it.
Here's the thing, though. Do we need this guy anymore? And I point at Sir Arthur.
Yeah. No, we definitely do. Absolutely.
Are we sure? He was just bringing us to this volcano of like not the right people, wasn't he?
He's got a lance on him, and we're gonna go fight 16 bats.
Well, I mean, he does hate bats.
I think he was in the same, scenario we were. They just knew bats were at the mountain. So he came, we were coming thinking this was where the cult was, but
one of you
foul.
One of you roll a d20. You're trying to get 13 or less, and we'll see how Sir Arthur is responding to being around 27 bats right now.
Who's rolling?
I think you are. You have physical dice, so I believe.
Yeah, if you wanted to make me the roller, I rolled a 15.
Okay. So yes, to answer your question, he doesn't like want to kill all of these bats, but he is still extremely apprehensive. The like slightest of like a lip snarl, as you could tell that Sir Arthur, if one of these bats moves the wrong way, he's kind of a ticking time bomb around the bats.
Goody. Yeah, let's go back to the ship. And we'll bring these two with us, and we'll all go adventure on a little island near this little island.
Yeah. Hey,
far away from the Bat Village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bat Elder. Yeah, listen, we will let people know that y'all are the good bats.
I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
There's problematic language flying around here, you know. Oh no, those bats are the good bats, you know. I was like, okay, Jesus Christ.
Hey, do you happen to have any guava for the road though?
With that, a very happy shopkeeper comes running out with a large slice of dried guava for each of you.
Ooh.
And says, consider this a down payment. If you can bring our brothers back safe and sound, if you can remove the island of this cult, we'll open up a line of trade with the and the elder's like, calm down, my friend. We're not quite there.
Well, if you really wanted to, oil my pipes, so to speak, wet my whistle, do you have any drink? You guys ferment this stuff? Imagine it could make a mean drink.
The bats all kind of look at each other and they're like, did he mention alcohol? This is interesting. As the bats themselves
Heck, I'll
are
take
very
old fruit at this point. I'll take just a fruit you've had sitting in a corner somewhere long enough.
Yeah, the bats are
lubricate this guy's rod or whatever he said.
There is a like a rotten jackfruit in the corner, and the bats are like, yeah, we try and stay away from that stuff. It makes hearing and flying a little bit hard for us, but have your way
those
with
things. And I go over and start eating this, swishing this thing into my mouth.
Yeah, that's disgusting, and I love it.
Good for the road.
Awesome. Well, we'll like 80s montage our way back to the port. So insert synth solo with some cool toms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I would say, what songs in the background, you know?
Yeah. The Transformers movie theme song. That's the 80s montage that you guys get. So the first watch, no encounter, but we did just roll your first encounter.
Nice.
So one of you roll a d6 to see what you encounter between the swamps and Lilliport itself.
I think it's Ryan's turn to roll a die.
Oh, okay, sure. Ryan, you roll.
What am I rolling? I'm sorry, I'm rocking out to the Transformers the movie theme
D6.
song.
Yeah, exactly.
D6?
D6, yeah.
I got a 6.
Oh, cool. That's
Either
roll
very good or
twice
very bad.
and combined. Roll twice and combined. So roll 2d6 and tell me what you get. Re-roll any 6s.
4 and a 5.
4 and a 5. Okay, very cool. So there it is. As you come around the corner, you feel the earth kind of shake and tremble a little bit as you then see what look like green tree trunks making their way up to a very large boulder. As you get closer, you realize that's a turtle, and it's the size of a dragon. But it doesn't notice you because it is busy in some sort of state of combat against 8 mushroom-like warriors. They are like 3-inch tall mushroom people. And they are wielding small little like water balloons of spores that they keep throwing at the dragon turtle, and they're popping and spores are filling the air. The dust is kind of actually now becoming something that you don't really want to smell. But yes, this dragon turtle is currently locked in combat with 8 fungal beasts.
Is it winning?
Yes. As you kind of like figure out how you're going to watch this thing, you see just like a stomp take out 2 of the fungal beasts as they just like completely splatter, and this odorous kind of just dust fills the air.
Yeah, I want to turn to Sir Arthur and just be like, should we do something about this?
At
This
which
is
point
like your guy, right?
and you see Arthur like buckling his helmet and like strapping in his breastplate all nice. He's like cinching up the shield on his arm, readying his lance. He's like, for our God and for our glory. And he's like ready to go.
I'm just gonna be like, go get a butt, and I like give him a smack. Like, yeah.
I pull out my gun.
Nice. As Oliver gives Sir Arthur the go ahead, Arthur just kind of like runs out and he's going. One of the fungal beasts sees him as Arthur just like drives a lance through it, and then Arthur just begins to cough as like the spores like fill his face. Do the rest of you do anything?
Yeah, I'm shooting.
Dope. Which one are you shooting at?
Were there 2 more fungus dudes left?
I think there's 4.
Okay, 4 more. And the one Arthur stabbed is still up?
No, it's dead.
Cool. Then I'm gonna aim for any of the other ones. The one that looks like it's the most tightly grouped, you know.
Cool. Roll 2d6 to see how your hit lands.
Okay.
Or if it lands.
I rolled a 7.
A 7. Okay, a 7 is a regular old hit. So roll damage. Do you have a like flintlock pistols? Do you have
I
a
have
musket?
a
What do you have?
2d6 pistol. Yeah, let's say it's a flintlock pistol.
Cool. And the way firearms work in Lilliputian is you're going to roll 2 dice, and it's not that you're taking the higher. You are going to combine, and it'll be the total is the damage. But if you roll doubles, it's a misfire.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I rolled a 3 and a 2, so 5.
Okay. You hit this thing, and as this musket ball comes like careening in at this fungal beast, it just like blows through like the cap of the mushroom, and it drops to the ground as it begins to like just kind of flop around a little bit. It's still alive, but it's definitely down.
I like look back. I'm like, "Do you see that, Billy? Hard gun's cool."
At that, the turtle now becomes aware of your presence, and it turns around, and now you're able to see this thing just with like, imagine Galapagos tortoise in size, but it's a snapping turtle. So just this gnarly beak that, as it turns around and now you see its face, it's got like 7 of these like fungal beasts in its mouth as it's chewing. It's less that it's being hunted by these, and these are being eaten by it. It sees you, and I'm going to roll reaction to see how it interacts with you. It doesn't get better than that. That's 2 6s. So it wants to be helpful.
Yay!
Good. Yeah.
That's great.
I love random stuff. So it begins to just stomp the rest of these, and then like it kicks one your way, thinking, "Hey, eat one. They're delicious."
Well, the great turtle lord be praised.
Are we all being converted right now?
I lean over to Oliver as this is all going on, and Sir Arthur's still off fighting if there's any remainders or something. And I just go like, we could just go, right? You wanted to kind of kick Sir Arthur to the proverbial curb. We could just leave, right? He's in the service of his deity.
That was my plan to begin with when I told him to go, and then this asshole had to shoot his gun. But I mean, hey.
I mean, it was a good shot.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great shot.
It was a good shot. If you got it, flaunt it. That's what my mama said. She was well known.
I love it. Are y'all So you guys are just gonna bypass and leave Sir Arthur behind. Is that what I'm gathering?
I just
Oh,
double
dude,
guns
I'm
towards the
not
dragon
agreeing to
god
this
and
at
roll
all.
out. Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're brothers in arms now. We slayed myconoids together, you know? Like, he's a good man. Frog.
He is at this point like climbing up the leg of the frog of the turtle, and he is attempting to woo this turtle into becoming his war mount.
Okay, we're leaving now. We are now leaving.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I
I, like, look over.
bud. This guy's a fucking psychopath. Like,
I look over and I'm like, okay, fine.
he waves at you and he says, "Call me when it's time to crush the colts." And at which point the turtle just like bucks him off completely, and then the turtle just starts making its way off into the jungle.
Come on, Billy.
Yeah. So you guys make your way to the town, and you are able to board your boat. You see the harbor master again, and he says, "Well, did you get rid of the colts?"
That's where we're going right now, actually.
Oh,
Not yet.
oh, so you're those kind of adventurers. Okay.
It's been like a day. Hey, did you read all the harbor master stuff? Don't talk to me like that.
He kind of looks around. He's like,
what have you done? You guys haven't even walked 4 feet into the island since you've been here.
I should have kept my mouth closed. I'm sorry. You want another beer?
I spit like half chewed up rotten jackfruit on the ground near his feet.
He goes, "Oh, you're those kind. Okay, good.
That's right.
Do what you must." And he kind of just like waddles off.
See, Billy, sometimes you got to put people in their place.
Love it. So what you would know from
We're just corrupting this kid. We're like taking around my trying to show him my gun. Like, we're bullying people now.
So you guys could go around the east side of the island, and up and around, or you could just go directly around the west side of the island. The west side is going to be about a watch quicker. But what you did see as you were going through, and we're able to survey the coastline over there, there are more rock outcroppings on the west side of the coast, whereas the east side from which you came, it was a smoother sail. So faster but more treacherous to the west.
I'm gonna
slower
let the
but
captain
smoother.
make the call on this one.
I was just gonna say, who's the captain of this boat?
Not me.
I'm a farmhand. I don't know shit about boats.
I mean, it sounds like it might be Henry then, because I have past martial,
All right.
I've
We're
past
leaving it
military
to
experience.
Our drunken captain here is still gnawing on Jack for getting swasty.
I like to think that we have like a pirate, like a ship version of the like household chores chart, where it's like we have a schedule and it changes every week.
Yeah.
I just happen to be the captain this week, but like next week you have to deal with it.
All the names are magnetized, so you can move up and down the chart, you know?
That way later,
You're on
it's like,
laundry
no,
next
like,
week. Yeah.
Oliver, you have to turn that wheel on the deck. Like, we don't want to deal with that today. I think, let's take the straight route. Subconsciously, I am annoyed still that the harbor master got on us, that we didn't do the job fast enough, and I want to get there quickly to deal with this. So.
And then we're going to burn his house down.
So as you guys are sailing around,
No? All right.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
we also-
definitely can.
Maybe later.
Yeah, you got fire oil. As you guys are sailing around, about 6 hours into just this meander around, you encounter some jagged rocks in the water, but you're able to navigate through them as the waters here are pretty crystal clear. It just is going to slow your travel down just a little bit. But then one of you, maybe it was Billy, we'll find out. No, it is John Falcon notices off in the water in the distance undulating kind of motion of like some sort of serpentine figure off in the waves about 20 yards off. It's not moving towards you. It just is kind of moving back and forth in a vicinity.
I just yell undulation while standing on the deck.
Well, more than one person has told me it's about the motion in the ocean. So
Yeah.
I look around, not fully understanding what that word means, and I just say, "Ready the cannons."
Very good.
I rated the cannon.
yeah. How many cannons we got?
I think you have on a galley, you have 2 D8 cannons.
Oh,
2 D8
cannons. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's
And
at
a
least
galley,
2.
yeah, and a galley is ship scale. So in Lilliputian for combat, there are 4 different kinds of size. There's individuals, which is what y'all are. There's a crew, which is like the equivalent of a warband or detachment. And a crew deals enhanced damage towards individuals, and in rare cases can deal impaired damage to a ship scale, which ship is the next one up from crew scale. And individuals, like if a ship shoots a cannon at an individual, they must make a strength save or instantly take critical damage. And then they have enhanced
Totally
attacks.
wiped by a cannon.
Yeah. So you guys have a ship scale. So any individual size thing is pretty much not going to be a problem for you. There are armada sized things, but that's like a fleet or like a human sized great white shark. But yeah. So do you ready the cannons? Are you continuing forward or are you, what's the game plan?
Where are cannons facing out side to side?
Yes. So you currently, let me just look. Yeah, you have fixed cannons, so they can go either left or right.
I mean, Captain.
I'll roll our 2d8 to see how many we have. A 1, a great start. An 8. It ended up being okay. So 9 cannons.
Right in the middle.
I think I'm going to carry on and just be like, keep your eyes to the water. I talk in like a different voice when I'm the captain, like when I'm behind the thing. I talk in like a different voice, and I'm like, keep your eyes to the water, me boys.
Hi, Captain.
Keep his head out, fire upon it.
As you guys continue on, roll a d6 for me, one of you. Probably the captain.
Of course. 3.
Okay. So as the ship is going, you get close to where you saw this shadow, and now it looks like it's quite a formidable serpentine sort of creature. But it is by itself, and it is underwater, and now you are able to like actually see it in these crystal clear waters. And it is like half eel, half snake. Imagine the tail of an eel with the upper I don't even know what you call it, a body of a cobra. Okay. And it sees the boat, and it weighs the potential threat, and it realizes it's better off if it just swims away. And so it does not attack you.
Nice. Way to just...
Good job with the cannons, boys. We scared it off.
Thanks, Captain.
Yeah, appreciate that.
This definitely would have been something you would have experienced if you were swimming in that open water for that small little bit, and so you may have dodged one there. But coming into view,
this is how we do it, Billy. This is why we make these decisions. This is experienced adventuring right here.
This is the mental calculus of the adventurer's mind.
Billy, load a cannon up and fire it off just for fun.
Just
Yeah, we got extras.
Yeah. Take a shot of whiskey too.
Yeah, Billy does, and there's a thunderous crack as the boat kind of teeters just a hair. But as the dust and gunpowder smoke settles, you see off in the distance a couple outcroppings larger than the others, and there is a cave opening on one of them.
Billy, load the cannon again. No, I mean,
temple. Oh, I point at it to there.
So the ship is able to navigate, but because of the ship's size, you're probably going to have to take like a little dinghy from the ship to the actual side of the rock. You're not going to be able to like butt up right against it without your ship incurring massive damage.
Okay. I'll pull it up close, drop the anchor, keep one side like facing this direction, and just probably let some of the crew know to like cannons are loaded already from the Serpent. Like just keep an eye on us. We might, if we run out screaming to fire the cannons, be on the lookout.
I love it. Okay. So you guys begin to climb up. Well, you tell me exactly what you do. Are you going to go in guns blazing? Are you going to?
I don't think guns blazing is the best approach.
I'm tired from captaining, so someone else make decisions.
Yeah. I say we try to stealth our way up there, you know? Stealthy climbing. What time is it?
It's a good call. It took about, what was it, 8 hours to get here. Yeah, we'll say it's 3 p.m.
Let's go in guns blazing.
Sure.
Perfect.
Your wish is my command.
So y'all are able to make your way up the side of this rocky outcropping with some level of ease, and as you get to the cave opening, again, it is pitch black in this cave, very reminiscent guano. I imagine that John Falcon was ready for it this time, maybe covered his nose with his scarf, and you're able to get to the opening of this cave, and it is dark, but inside in the blackness, there are candles. They are black candles, and they are set on a black altar, and they are glowing. This does seem like a cultish kind of temple, but again, it is eerily quiet, aside from the obnoxious snores of what sounds like a choir of bats.
Which one seems like they're the guy in charge? You know?
Yeah. So are you guys lighting a torch of any kind, or a lantern, or are you going to go with the candlelight?
How dark is it?
To determine which one looks as though they are in charge, in this light, you would need to make a specific, like a will save. If you light a lantern, you would be able to know for sure.
Well, I can't make a will save, so so lantern it is.
Yeah, I can light my lantern up if we're like, it looks too dark. I'll light the lantern, but like keep it mostly closed and low until we like be like, okay, let's check these people.
Yeah.
So as you light your lantern, the room illuminates. Maybe one bat kind of like shifts a little bit from its pull-up bar. Well, you notice that these bats are all wearing like black and red robes that kind of just drape down to the floor as they're hanging upside down. Yeah, but they are very much all asleep, and outside of y'all making like a very clamorous commotion, that they're going to sleep. They tend to be out hunting all night. You do see a very large bat. Whereas most of these are just your normal fruit bat, you see a bat that's probably like a flying fox. If you're familiar with those bats, this thing is massive, and it is hanging, and its body is covered in like tattoos, and it is hanging dead center over a stone slab that has a couple parchments of paper kind of sprawled out over it.
Yeah, I'm gonna like look to the group and be like, I think the gesture basically saying, I think that's him.
I pull out my gun.
Nice.
I think it might be bomb time.
Maybe what?
Bomb time.
Bomb time.
Oh, I pull out
wanna-
a fucking stick of dynamite.
I love it.
I pull out my little thing of fire oil and I'm just like, I'll put that on there too.
Is the slab a slab, or is there a space under the slab?
Yeah, if you go to investigate it, it's a stone desk. It from the front, it looked like a slab, but underneath there's like that's a place where you could put your legs if you were sitting.
Do we think it would protect someone from like an explode? Like my brain says, light it, chuck it, jump onto the desk, blow up lead bat, protect yourself from carnage falling down, and then leave. That's where my head's at.
We can come out from behind the altar and be like, this false god has fallen. Return to your kind.
Mm.
Now, while we're at the desk, can we look at the
Scared
parchment
straight.
on it?
Yes, you can. Roll a d4 for me.
Two.
2. Okay, now roll 2 d12s for me.
8 and 12.
8 and 12. Okay. They are 2 scrolls, which in Lilliputian is the equivalent of a spell tablet from Mouse Ritter, or a spell book from Cairn. One of them has the spell Poseidon's Fury on it. And the other one has Saint Elmo's Fire written on it. Saint Elmo's
Saint
Fire.
Elmo?
Yeah, Saint Elmo. Saint Elmo's Fire is a spell that shoots a plasma ball up to 2 ships' lengths in distance, dealing some plus dice blast damage to all creatures near the target. In essence, it's Fireball on steroids. And then the other one is Poseidon's Fury, which is you can create a straight wall of waves that is dice times 20 feet in length and rises 10 feet high. So in essence, cast a minor tsunami.
Let's say that's a tsunami for a 6-inch tall person. Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe hold the bomb. We go back to the entrance, and then I fire Saint Elmo at the guy.
Didn't the bats ask us to not kill all of their loved ones?
He's right in the middle. Like I can aim it into the middle.
Would the other bats be? It says to all creatures near target. Are they near target? Like is he like is he in an exclusive area of the cave? Like, oh no, that's his area, or is he like in between all of them?
Yeah, so I would say because there's 16 cultists plus him as the high priest, he would be in the center. There's going to be 8 on either side of him. So if you hyper focus the spell in on him, I would say the 2 that are closest to him are going to take the full effect of it, and then the next 2 would take half of it, and then the remaining the remaining 12 wouldn't take anything other than obviously waking up.
That's fine. That's good enough. You know.
Those are good numbers for me. I'm okay with those numbers.
Yeah, that's acceptable casualties. You know.
Yeah, because that's a thing, Henry.
I will say, I did miss this. In addition to the 2 scrolls that you found on there, there is a detailed map of a citadel that has like a couple key points pointed out on it, and then scrawled across it in like Lilliputian handwriting. It says the full thing is underwater. This is the resting place of the Pearl. And then it has like the small initials BK on it. Have it your way. You would deduce that this is a map of a small dungeon on the east side of the island that Bradford Currington believed the Pearl was in. Also, this bat has that map.
Yeah, I was going to say, so also now that we're in here, there's no Lilliputians here. There's no frogs.
Great question. Yeah, no, there are none in cages. There are none alive, but there is a small pile of bones, some of which look like frog, and others you might be able to determine are like mouses.
Okay, let's kill them.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep. What ability is fire thing stuff at things?
Like
So
doing your spell.
Yeah, so for your spell, all you need to do is hold this scroll in your hands, and you're going to decide what power you want to cast it at. What that means is you can either do it at 1, 2, or 3 dice, and then you'll just roll those amount of d6s. If a dice has a value of 4 or 5, you'll mark a durability, which is the same as like a usage in Mouse Ritter. If you roll a 6, the spell miscasts and the scroll dissolves, and then you take d6 damage and you roll on a mishap table.
Dope.
Brutal.
Cool. So
bear that fuck up.
So let's go as far as we can and still see Foxbat. And I'm gonna hold on to this scroll, and I'm gonna say whatever the spell is, like tickle me up, and then like it's gonna fire Saint Elmo's fire or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a green flash you see on the ocean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nautical themed spells.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Saint Elmo is a green flash?
Yeah, Saint Elmo's fire is like a thing that sailors used to talk about seeing, like it's a green flash on the horizon.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's even like some drawings. There's like drawings from the 17th century of like a green fireball just floating across the ocean.
See, where I heard that was from like the brewery. Yeah, like Green Flash Brewery is where I knew of Green Flash. I didn't know Saint Elmo was a thing. Interesting.
Yeah, it's also a movie from the 80s. One of those like Molly Ringwald.
I just Googled it and I see, Molly Ringwald and like the guy from it's literally like half the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Same director too.
Interesting. So yes, I would love to green flash the F out of this Foxbat.
1, 2, or 3.
Sure.
3.
I want to go max power, whatever I gotta do.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
If it crumbles, it crumbles.
Yeah, roll 3d6 for me.
3d6. And what's good and what's bad?
A 4 and a 5 means it's just going to mark durability on this thing. It only has, you can use it 3 times. A 6 is going to make it dissolve.
Dope. Okay, I rolled a 1, a 4, and a 4.
Okay. So that's 9 plus the 3 dice. So you're going to deal a total of 12 damage at this thing, and to all the bats around it. And it just so happens that bats don't have a lot of HP. And so this just careening green plasma ball of molten fire just like explodes on this bat. The high priest himself didn't even have a chance. The ones directly surrounding it, they also don't even have a chance. The bats closest to the entrance are like shaken from their slumber, and like lit out just yelping screams as they don't even know what's happening. Chunks of basalt are kind of flying everywhere. Actually, because of the concussive power of this, tell me how you were all standing at this cave entrance.
Safely.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I was just standing, like to the left or right of the fireball wielder, like with my bow out in case we had to deal with anything.
Yeah.
And then once they get up, I'm going to yell my the false god has fallen. Go home, losers.
Giant explosion inside of closed room with one exit.
I will say that I for sure got into it, and if there was like a doorway and they're on either side, I would have stepped right in the middle and been like, and like, you know. So if that's a thing, I definitely would have been doing that. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Of the bats that remain, they're gonna make a will save. That's a 20 in this. That's like the naturalist of fails. They are not rallying to combat. They are not thinking twice. One of them like just drops his robe right away and he's like, yeah, I never should have joined this cult anyway. And he just like books it out the door. Others are kind of like gathering around, like trying to figure out what's going on. Some of them are like, what have I done? But yeah, you can be assured that these bats are going to make their way home and may never pick up their cultish ways again. That being said, your crew with the cannons aimed up here, how would your crew respond to seeing an explosion? Would they think that's you? Is that the reputation y'all have?
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
that
told
it
them.
is.
Yeah, I told them like
on him.
That's true.
yeah, I told them be ready to fire if you see us coming out of this cave going, fire the cannons, fire.
Okay.
I don't think they would see that.
You do see the crew starting to like rally to get the cannons ready as like 12 bats come flying out, but then they see you like victorious and all that kind of stuff. And so they all begin to cheer as you guys make your way climbing down the side of the mountain.
I would love to at least snag one of these robes because it kind of looked a little dope, and he could use some new clothes because those are fucking disgusting, Henry.
Yeah,
like,
I would say
I haven't said it for a while, but they're gross.
Man, I'm not getting rid of them, but I'll put some new ones on
tiny
top.
pants.
Of the 12 bats that lived and fled, I would say 8 of them have robes that are not scorched. So yeah, you can each definitely. There's even enough for Billy to have one.
Here you go, Billy, little souvenir. I want to catch one of these, like not like physically catch them, but I want to like stop or talk to one of these bats as they're leaving after we've said this to them, and just be like, "Look, your family is back home. Will welcome you, but I must know." And now I'm talking like a wizard to them, like I feel like Henry definitely puts on characters in this. He's talking like a wizard or like something to them, and he's like, what, did your group take the Lilliputian farmers to eat them? I will not punish you here, but speak truthful to me.
It wasn't necessarily to eat them, but our high priest told us that we were going to, we were gaining power from their life force, enough power for us to go and take down the dragon turtle, which would give our high priest enough life force to defeat mortality, and then grant us his immortal gift. It sounded really good. He had pamphlets and they had nice signs, but
I look over towards the like smoldering cave and I go, well, it looks like mortality got 1 point up on him. So what you're saying is they're dead, the Lilliputians.
Alas, yes. We yeah. Sorry.
Okay, get out of here. I kick him on the butt. His back butt. Go.
Yep.
Perfect. Great job, everyone. This went this went better than I could have possibly expected. Let's get back to the ship.
That's the kind of precision you can expect from us, Billy boy.
It's yeah.
How's Billy,
Is Billy here or is he on the ship?
Oh yeah, you tell me.
No, he definitely.
I thought he was here. We were giving him the field experience.
Okay, good.
How's he taking this in? Is this like horrifying? Is he excited about it? Is it?
That's a great question. He's going to take some stress. And
it could be either. You could be like, this is awesome action movie stuff. You could be like, oh my God, they firebombed.
Yeah, I'm going to have one of y'all. We're just going to use the stress outcomes table. Les says how much damage you received, and just roll a D10, and we'll tell you how.
I cast the spell.
I got a 10.
Okay, you got a 10. Billy, he had a heart attack upon seeing this. His strength was 7. Who's going to roll the strength save?
Hunter has to.
Someone else. Okay, fine. I'll do it.
Him.
The strength save.
He's young.
I saved 13.
Ooh, okay. His heart attack was quite heavy. The shock of all of this really was more than he was ready for.
We're talking about like stress-induced cardiomyopathy, like not like yeah. I don't know.
Yes, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. He passes out, and he is going to be passed out for 2 days.
Oh, he lived. Though.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
I think he said he wasn't cut out for it, though.
I think he learned a valuable lesson about adventuring.
Yeah. I reached down and under only like half acting like I'm, patting him or caring for him, I take that flask off him.
He does not notice in the slightest.
Oh, Billy boy.
All right, let's get back to the ship.
Awesome. What is your guys' destination? Are you looking to? You now have a map that has the outline of the entire island, and you do notice on the east there is quite the cove that is listed as 𝐋𝐈𝐋𝐍 on the map, and there's a very defined coastline detailed of Lilliport as well, which is where you had parked your ship originally.
What time of day is it again?
At this point, we'll say that took maybe a half hour to an hour, so it's 4 p.m.
We're amazingly efficient when it comes to killing.
Yeah, well, how was it a 6-hour trip back to the town?
8 hours back the way you came, 12 hours to go around the north side of the island. But 6 hours to 𝐋𝐈𝐋𝐍 if you wanted to get there.
Oh, 𝐋𝐈𝐋𝐍.
So basically, are we going for the Pearl or are we going for the Harbor Master?
I think we're going, the heart. He was so judgmental. I kind of want to rub it in his face.
I was thinking
first.
we'd go back, be like, look, we did it. We get our money, get some drinks, make another crawl.
I agree.
We can drop Billy Boy off with mommy.
Yeah.
Awesome. So another 80s little montage here as you guys sail around to the south of the island. You pull into Lilliport about it's just around midnight. Nice oil lamps are lit on the docks. You pull in, it's just silent on the docks. You're able to unload. One of the pubs is still open late at night, and it is the Man Duck. And you are able to go in.
No, I'm knocking on the harbor master's door.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, and his house is very much listed as like the big one in town. So you knock on the door. You see like an oil lantern kind of like light in the upstairs window, and you hear the creaks of wooden stairs as this guy comes down. And the door like opens, and the large harbor master stands there with the harpoon in his hand and nothing but his bedrobe on. And he says, who goes there? What? Why you come to my house at night? Who are you?
Oh, we just want to let you know that we killed those cultists. Well, we broke up the cult. We killed most of them. So
he takes a step.
Throw one of the robes in his face.
He's like, "Oh, you're one of those kind of adventure party. Oh my god!" And he says, "Oh, I wasn't expecting you tonight, or even this week. Okay. Do you remember how much
now we're too fast for you?
I can never win with these things. I'm not used to it. Well, and he goes, bear with me one moment. And he goes back inside and he shuts the door on you, which is very unhospitable of him. And you can hear like some shuffling around in the desks on the inside. And he makes his way back to the door, and he's got a very nice chest.
Yeah, he does.
You so resistant saying very nice sack. I saw that for a second.
You're right. And it's to the world you exist in, it's a nice chest. To our meta world, it's an Altoids tin. And it is full of 4,000 coins. And he says, well, this was what I offered to pay you. I really didn't think you would actually do it.
Oh, well, then why did you offer?
I mean, adventurers
You
come.
wanted us to die out there? Is that why you did it?
No, I wanted to offer adventure. No one's taken me. I mean, maybe they've taken. I can't even remember these days. But I'm a man
Because
of my word.
you, Billy Boy is in a coma.
He says,
Because of you.
Bill, William. Oh gosh, his mother and I. Did he go out on
Where's his mother? Are you his dad?
Upstairs.
He says, my son. Well,
He shot a cannon.
He's your son?
yeah, put it in the annals. Yeah, he's my son. I didn't think he was an adventurer, and I told him I didn't think he was that kind, and he left.
Look, I'm going to be honest. We found him. We let him catch, hang around with us. I agree with you. He's not cut out for it.
We got
He
him
saw
to take a
one little
smoking
St.
gun.
Elmo's fire and he just fell down, near dead. He's fine, but we'll bring him off the ship for you.
The harbor master looks at you and says, did you by any chance find my flask?
Nah.
No.
He just had a stick on him.
He's not an adventurer, nor is he a good thief. He loses what he steals. Well, put him on the couch, and they open the door for you so that you can usher his.
Has Billy just been on the ground next to us, just passed out as we've been having this conversation?
Definitely. I like the idea you were dragging him on a board around the town. Because after this, I was just going to go and we go to one of the pubs with him and drag him in there. And we're like, does anyone know this guy's mom?
Weekend at Bernie's,
Oh, that's awesome.
There
Yeah.
he
So he hooks you up with the 4K, and yeah, at that point, we can save the Pearl Adventure for folks to play for themselves. I'm going to post this up to Itch here pretty soon. But
Very cool.
such a pleasure playing with you guys. This is awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. A blast.
Yeah, it was very fun to see. It's always fun to have the stuff all intersect. We had Sir Arthur with us, but then the dragon turtle showed up, and then we kind of ditched him. Yeah. One of my favorite things, which I don't do very often as the character, is to do the thing where the moment the world shows even a slight unhappiness with the player characters, you just go all in on being mean. I love basically the harbor master just being oh, you haven't already done it? I had a whole years long running campaign where that's all the characters did to the world the whole time.
Oh, that's great.
It was really fun. Where someone would be like, please, sir, I have a quest. And we'd be like, we're too busy. Screw off. It was fun to channel a little of the just being antagonistic to this harbor master for really no reason.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
No, this was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, it's obviously into the odd, and all of its descendants and mastered and stuff. It's a fun game to play. Like I said, I like the little extra bonus combat thing in there, the wheel. I can see why you just ditched it though.
So I actually
to hit people.
I like it.
I did it in my home game with Mouse Ritter that then evolved into Lilliputian for a little bit. We did that for over a year. And my group loved it. I think I actually ended up dumping it. I ran a game for the Exalted Funeral funeral camp a couple summers ago, and it felt like in that setting, and I think it was because we were playing online, it slowed it down a lot, and I was like, okay, maybe this whole just like automatic hit is the way to go. And so I actually switched my home game back to automatic hit. But no, I do kind of like it because it just adds that variable of you could actually miss, but you could also deal max damage.
Yeah, I could see it. It's one of those things that I could see it being either working better either way, depending on your table too. Like if you have players that really want to get into combat as much as they can and play, I could see streamlining it out. Yeah. Like we really weren't that combat prone. We were like bad decisions, but in like the most effective, you know, like you went for 3 power on the spell. We were like, we're going to go all in. And if it goes bad, so then it's kind of fun. Cause imagine if, John, right, had like been like, I'm going to shoot this leader in the head, and then you failed, and now this whole cave full of bats are awake.
For sure.
So it's like in that scenario, it feels like it has nice potential to add drama where we weren't, you know, all willy-nilly with our combat.
We had one session where there was the sea hag, and my brother like put the flintlock pistol up, and it was like the end of combat. It was like, okay, he's gonna get, and it misfired, and then the sea hag had its turn and dealt critical damage in like player death, and I was just like, that's why I like having that in there, because it was completely unexpected. The table was ready to move on. So yeah, no, I think there's a place for it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a small enough chance that it isn't railroad. It isn't 50% of the time throwing your turn away. It's just like giving enough to add some little drama to it, which is fun.
Right.
Have you always had that, or did you just put that on for today?
No. I've had this for years. Yeah. It's ironic.
Yeah. Perfect for the day though. Yep. So Lilliputian is actually, I just double checked, the soft cover and hardcover are still on sale at Exalted Funeral. So I only have the hardcover. So the soft cover might end up in my collection too. Because you know that's me. But I dropped the link in the chat there. But if you just go to Exalted Funeral and search Lilliputian, you can get that. And it's also on your itch, right? And I have that on the overlay over there. The ManaDawnTTG.itch.io.
Absolutely.
And when did you say this adventure is going to be dropping?
Yeah, I'll probably post it to itch tonight. And then there is another, it's like a 36-page, it's actually a Mouse Ritter adventure, but it's written to be on the coast, and so it's compatible with Lilliputian. And then I just released the Lilliputian third-party license and logo yesterday, so would love to see more nautical adventures.
That means everyone out there listening, make stuff for Lilliputian. Let's do a Lily Jam.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Oh.
I mean, I'll say not, you know, with no attachment to the project, that anyone who is even a little bit interested should at least check out the itch, because you can get the whole thing for $5 digitally, which is wild. I recommended this. I haven't even played it before now, but I've owned it since you put it out and read it. And I recommended it to a bunch of people because I was just like, I mean, anything under $15, especially when it's like a full game. I do really want the hardcover though. I love skinny hardcovers. This is that. I love that. I love like the real stiff firm, like the cover is never too far one way or the other kind of thing. But yeah, that's my recommendation, is just go check it out, because you know you got $5 to be a little sailor, little creep on the sea.
I love it.
And obviously check out the rest of Matt's stuff, because he just puts stuff out like every day. Like this adventure, he was like, oh, by the way, yesterday I had a day off. I just wrote a whole adventure. Let's do it. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff on there. Definitely check it out. And then, again, we have Christian Sorrell with us today, too. Christian, where can people find all of your stuff? One of the most prolific people in TTRPGs in 2023.
I know Matt definitely beats me out in terms of output. You're one of the people that I'm like, man, I'm over here hustling and that's just dropping more things. Actually everything. I have mostly like Mothership stuff, an adventure for Liminal Horror, some Morkborg stuff, everything like that. Anything of mine in print is actually on sale for 30% off until Sunday night. I just launched like my own store. So shop.meatcastlegameware.com. That's all on there, and it's 30% off everything. You can also get digital on there too. So it's like a sale I'm not doing on whatever. Yes, right there. You have a copy of, that's my latest release, which every month I do a newsletter where I do a little free RPG thing. A lot of times it's just something I'm interested to try for a first time or whatever I've done. So that the Meat Castle Gameware annual that I just put out collected all of those and more, like other little odds and ends I'd made. So it has like 3 new classes for Mothership, like a weird little pet. It has a spaceship for Mothership. It has like 2 micro games in it. Yeah, real fun if you just like little odds and ends for games. It has some Morkborg enemies in it and things like that too. But yeah, that's what I've got going on right now. Then I'm working on a lot of stuff for next year.
Yeah, your stuff is amazing. I freaking love what is it? Tunnels in the White for Liminal Horror.
Yep, that one's on there. Yeah, my little horror adventure.
It's so good, man.
Yeah, that one is really fun to make because it's one of those things where, like, as a creator, right, you have all this stuff in your head that doesn't even need to translate to the people at the table. But that adventure is actually a sequel to a Call of Cthulhu campaign I ran. The sailor from that adventure was the antagonist of this Call of Cthulhu campaign I ran. And then there's stuff in that adventure that connects to my Mothership adventures. Because
cool.
It's Singleton is the company, and in the future in Mothership, the like big bad company is Dextro Singleton Spatial Solutions. So it's supposed to be like they incorporate in the future.
Is dope.
So that one has a lot of fun to me, like Meat Castle universe stuff going on in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a fun one if people like modern horror. It's basically there's a warehouse your investigators find out about. Everything goes in and almost nothing ever comes out, including people. Like it almost looks like an airport terminal. Like, you know, big cars of executives get off and go in and no one ever comes out. And you investigate from there. But it has like a spooky manor you go to, this weird warehouse, and then some sort of, you know, appropriately cosmic horror-y things.
Pretty rad.
Definitely. Yeah. And you said that's at your meatcastlegameware.com, right?
Yeah, shop.meatcastlegameware.com to go straight to it, or Meat Castle Gameware.
There we go.
Awesome.
And yeah, this was great. I think there was definitely enough in there to do a second adventure, so maybe we'll do that sometime. Because this kind of popped up out of nowhere. And I think next time that we have just kind of, you know, time, we should just hit it up and do this again.
Oh, I'm down.
Cool.
Same.
All right. So
always love to play the games.
We always love to have you. I mean, both of you guys need to come on more. That's where we're at with this. So, but yeah, this has been the Weekly Scroll Podcast. This has been kind of a side quest. You can find us at our Linktree / the Weekly Scroll for everything. For those out there, just something we're going to start doing again on the show. Myself and Hunter are going to be doing a monthly like crowdfunding episode where we talk about crowdfunding every month and we put out a submission form. So on our Linktree, you can find that. So at any point, anytime that you start that you are crowdfunding something, hit us up so we can make sure we spotlight it and catch all the rest of our stuff, you know, where things are sold and everything. And that's it. Everyone have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys all later.